Greetings, twin flame lover. Whew, you're watching this video because both you and your twin flame are married, but not together, to others. This is a tricky situation, and I have seen it not work out many, many times, and I've also seen it work out for the highest good in the most miraculous of ways. So I wanted to share the story of Mary, one of my very first twin flame clients. When I was 27, I was actually an undercover shaman. I was giving facials at my own organic skincare spa. I would give women facials, and if I felt like they were a right fit, I would ask them if they wanted an aura healing while I was doing the face mask. And I said to Mary, this might sound kind of strange, but I'm getting guidance to give you an aura healing. And she was like, yes, I would love that. In fact, I studied aura healing, and she mentioned the teacher, and I was like, no way. I studied with the same teacher at the same school 10 years later than her. And she was like, she ripped her iPad off. I remember she was covered in green clay, and she was like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Like, you need to give me this aura healing. So I started giving her this amazing energy healing auric reading, or at least for us, it just felt like so on fire. We were just in that synchronistic sister space. And she starts telling me the story of her love life. And it ends up being a success story of how she ended up with the married man that she thought she would never be with. So basically, Kyle was a man that she worked with for many years, and she never thought anything of it because she was married. She said, you know what? I was married to a toad. He was a jerk. He was very verbally and sometimes physically abusive, and he would say nasty things to me like, you're so ugly, no one will ever want you if you leave, you don't know how to do anything right. And he was basically trying to scare her because she actually was beautiful, very intelligent, working for a huge company, and she was at the very top of it, and he just wanted to keep her small because he was scared. So anyways, for years, she was in this bad marriage, and she had a psychic tell her, you know what, you're not going to stay in this marriage forever. And she was like, no, I don't believe that. There's like a 0% chance. And she said, and you're going to meet someone at your work. She's like, yeah, that's not going to happen. Well, then comes this Christmas party, and somehow she adjusts his chair. They're in the break room, and she smells his head, and she's like, oh my God, she just instantly got like turned on and like in love, like the pheromones. And she was just like, oh my God, like, and they'd worked on this project together, and she's like, I'm so dumb. I'm like absolutely in love with this guy. And so she ends up having this insane desire to tell him. She's like, I can't, you know, I'm married. So anyways, fast forward a few months later, her husband punches her jokingly on July 3rd in the breast, and she goes, ow, that's painful. And she realizes that she has a breast lump and she has to get it removed. And anyways, long story short, she decides, when her husband says, you're so ugly with your scar, I don't want to see that, and the nurse overhears it, she's a 6-foot-tall nurse, grabs him and kicks him out and says, you're not welcome to ever talk to a woman like that, especially your wife. Anyways, it ended the karmic agreement because she was witnessed in the abuse. So she started to love herself. She started to say, it's okay, I don't need to be with this horrible person. Someone actually stood up for me, and Mary ended up saying, well, I can't be with the married guy, but I can be with myself. And she really loved herself. And she said, well, what if I am with him? And okay. And then she's like just entertaining the deep healing for herself, but she's not putting all the energy on him. So that's one key. Can you remain unattached? Can you let go and let love? That is so important. That's one of the fundamental and the foundational phases in our 11-phase twin flame alchemy formula. Let go, let love, surrender. Then Mary decided to call this man and propose her love and say, you know what? Like, I even think I need to quit my job because seeing you every day at work and not being able to have you, like, I realize I'm in love with you, and I want to be honest, and I don't want to hide it. And he'd also seen that she'd taken off her wedding ring, and she's like, I'm going through a divorce. And he froze up and basically said, well, I'm married. I can't. And she was so heartbroken and so sad, right? I mean, it was her twin flame. She felt like this was the real deal. So then she continues her own healing path. She's standing up in her power. She's moved out from this horrible marriage and reclaiming all of her stuff and got her new apartment. And she's like, I'm every woman she can't. So she's back in her game, feeling super empowered. And she still has this connection, this crush, this deep love, but she's unattached. Until one day, he calls her on the phone and says, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. From the very beginning, I thought you were my twin flame. I just couldn't admit it to myself because I was married and I was under the spell of this woman, and we have kids together, and she's never treated me right. She's never treated me with so much respect and connection and friendship that I feel with you. Can you meet me in 20 minutes at this hotel? And she's like, oh my God. It was a luxury hotel, and she said that the bed was covered with flowers. And she said she'd never been touched by a man like that, that when he started to kiss her, she said, hold on, I haven't been touched by a man in 20 years like this. Like, you need to go slow. And she literally, he kissed her again passionately. She literally faints and luckily falls back on the bed. She's literally passed out. And he's like, oh, you're serious. You really meant to go slow. Like, I get it. So they spent time together, getting to know each other intimately, gently, and they've been married for over 20 years now. So I hope this success story brings you inspiration and some lessons. To underline the lessons, remain unattached, do deep healing empowerment work on yourself, and while you're saying, I let go, I let love, I'm also open to calling in the best possible timeline for myself. If you're somebody who's been struggling for some time in the love department, and you might know who your twin flame is, or you already are in a twin flame union and it's something needs to accelerate for you to hit your love goals, perhaps having a child or aligning fully so that you can have the soul purpose mission together that you desire, then I would love to invite you to our upcoming retreat, Pray Love, a retreat here in Bali. We have paused it for the last 3 years due to the pandemic, but now it's all open. Bali is open, and we have a retreat scheduled for this October 18th through 25th, 2022. And we have an early bird special, a coupon code that we'll put below, as well as our info page. I hope you check it out. Women who come to Retreat, Pray, Love Bali go through a deep internal journey of self-marriage. We help you prepare for your twin flame self-union, including a self-love marriage ring, a wedding ring, which we will help you to bless and crystallize under the pure spring waters, and will take you to several sacred sites, including the pyramids of Chi, where you'll receive a twin flame sound healing activation and manifestation ritual. We'll also go through beautiful workshops, play shops, have a lot of joy, soul family energy, and you'll be staying at a gorgeous river resort at the very edge of town so that you can access all the best amenities of Ubud, Bali, the #1 tourist destination in the world, while staying in the quiet nature of divine feminine Bali, all in the distance of the gorgeous, gorgeous rice fields with sunset views and dragonflies and butterflies and local Balinese farmers that will love to give you a smile. There's also an optional beach trip and so many other perks and bonuses. I'd love you to check out what people have to say about this retreat. If you haven't experienced it yet, we would love to see you there. Have a beautiful day. Namaste. Namaste.